Hey everybody, Jay here from Easy Astronomy. Just going to go through and share another observing report that I finally got put together. So now I just have 7 more to do. This is from July 23rd and 24th of 2025. Let's get that in here in the title. Up at Top View out on Toon Rd. It's out in the West Desert in Utah. On the evening, my great friend and observing partner Shane and I got out to do some observing. The next night we had a planned back-to-back night. We were going to do a quick session out here, and then the next night which will be the next post, we headed out to Cedar Mountain Wilderness, which is very remote, very dark, impasse of about 21.9 to 21.95. 2188 would be probably what it would be in the evening with the Milky Way up. It is dark out there, very remote. But anyway, that's for the next post. Top View, as we call it, is about 3 miles from the Pony Express Road. As you're driving out, you go couple miles, 2-3 miles past the Pony Express marker on the Pony Express Road out there, down from 5 Mile Pass. And you turn left onto Toon Rd. It's a gravel road to begin with, and turns to a dirt road, and it climbs up a ridge, and you're up on top of this nice little ridge that overlooks the surrounding valleys. I was very excited to get out this night because I just received the week before my shroud for my 17.5-inch Dob, which I call Starcatcher. And I had tried it out in the garage, and I've shared the link to that from my old blog, which I'd posted on. Love this shroud. It's perfectly there. It's a little different to put it on than a typical Dob that has an upper cage. But since I just have the ring, I have to put the truss poles on, put them on the bottom. I then put the shroud on and have to turn it and wiggle it just a little bit. So I figured out how to align it so that the opening for the Telrad, the finder scope, and the focuser are all there, so I can see the eyepiece and all those in the finder and the Telrad they're just out, and still put the shroud up over the ring. Once I get the shroud on, then I can put the upper ring on, and then I can pull the shroud up and over the ring after I align everything to make sure it's there, and it works perfectly now. I really wanted it at this site. This site sometimes comes in at a 21.4, 21.5, and I would say 21.4 to 21.45 to 21.6 is what I typically get out there for MPass SQM readings. And so anyway, it's a quick 50-60 minute drive depending on traffic out from home, and it's great for a quick night out, especially in the summer where it gets dark so late. I got out there before Shane, which is a benefit of being retired, and so it's pretty typical I get out before he does. Skies were clear, really clear for this time of year. You can see it in the image that I'm sharing right here. Really good transparency, a little bit of haze down low, but nothing up top. Up top was clear as a bell. Here you can see the Vernon Hills with the sheeprocks behind them. My other 3 observing sites out in that area, off Forest Road 006 in Vernon, south of Vernon, are located out there right up in the just below the sheeprocks there, just as you're climbing up toward them. Anyway, I got up and got the scope assembled, got the shroud on it, put the upper ring on it, and since I'd done it in the garage at home, like I said, it went very smoothly. You can see here's the 17.5 with the shroud on it. In the past, I've never really used a shroud because I go to sites typically that are 21.6 to 21.9, and not a lot of stray light out there except for the starlight. I've been lucky in 25 plus years. I've never, knock on wood, dropped anything on my primary mirror yet. But I really wanted the shroud because of some of the things that I was going after this night. I really felt it would help improve the contrast. The site, as you can see out here, wide open. It's a great site. That's the view right here. This is the southern view. You see a little bit of that haze, and there was a little bit of fire down south, and so you're getting a little bit of smoke right there, but never went up into the upper atmosphere. It's a wide field shot. That's the southern view right there. This is looking south to southwest. and you can see just wide open. This is looking southeast right here, and then this one is looking to the north east. I rarely look in that direction. You can see my ascent here and Shane's forerunner right there. I never really look in the northeast. That's where the Salt Lake Light Dome is, and it's probably up about here. It's a good 20 degrees up when you look in that direction. You really have to look up high, about 30 to 40 degrees to really see anything decent. And so it's easier just to wait till it passes up and over you. This one's looking northwest as the sun is setting, and I have my table set up there. There's my sketching material. There's some layers to put on if I need it, and my little drink right there. Anyway, not that you care about that. This is zoom in, looking more to the southwest view right here. Shroud just comes down, usually just fits right over here, fits right over the top of the shroud. You can see there's that opening for the Telrad, the focuser, and the finder there. This is my 14-inch with the Zambuto in it. Love the scope. It's a strut, yes. I know some people have had problems with strut. It has strings attached. Hard to see the strings in this, but they're there. You could ask Shane. If Shane was here, he would tell you this. We have this thing worked out and figured out to where there is no collimation shift. We've checked multiple times. Continue to check on a regular basis when the scope is out. No collimation shift on this. It's just a sturdy, great dog to use. Beautiful views there. I've been loaning it to Shane for the last probably 9 months at this point. Well, at this point, 7 months, as I've gotten to know him. He had a 17.5 Discovery that he's rebuilding, and he hadn't picked up, I don't believe, his 12.5 Zambuto teeter scope yet. So that was coming shortly. So I typically let him come pick this up. He drove out with it, dropped it off a couple days after we got done observing. Anyway, it is one of my favorite scopes. I can see as I probably age, I'll probably lean down from the 17.5 down to the 14. I need to get the kydex here, and I want to make a ring that goes around the upper part of the secondary here, just to make the contrast a little bit better when I'm at a site that's not so dark here. Mentioned that I enjoy my friendship and observing with Shane. Shane's a wonderful individual. We're a lot alike, and we understand each other's passion for the hobby. He's truly a great friend, and besides the hobby and talking about many things in the hobby, we talk about just about anything. I really appreciate that. I will observe solitary. I've done it in the past many times, have no problem with it, but I usually like to have a companion with me, somebody to share in the moment, to confirm things that I see, and do that. I know in the past I've observed with Jeff and with Matt, great friends, real friends, sincere friends. It's nice to have Jeff coming out with us, and Matt's going to come back out with us. So I'm really looking forward to just having that small core group of people to go out with. I did give Matt my 12.5-inch Meade Starfinder that I had, and he's going to rebuild it. So I'll be interested to see what he does with it. Probably make some reports on that. Matt learned to grind and make scopes from Jeff Baldwin out in California, I believe with the Stockton Astronomy group out there, and he's really good at that. You can see I brought my C-Star S50 out. Yes, I imaged. A lot of the images you're going to see tonight, don't mention it in the post, are the photographic image of the objects that I observed that night. Kind of like to do that. Eventually, as I post them on a new website that I'm creating to hold my sketches, probably put both the sketch and then the actual image there. Love the C-Star. I use it a lot more than I thought I would. There's been a few times I just load it up and head out to a site, set it up, sit by it, let it do its thing, and enjoy the night sky. As it gotten colder, I can either sit out, or if it gets too cold, I can go in the car and run it from either the iPhone or the tablet that I have for that. I'll share more on the C-Star in the coming new year, and I'll be sharing some tutorials and trainings and insights that I have, and probably invite a couple people to come on and talk about it. You can see as the sun went down, this is what it looked like out there. This is looking toward, I've zoomed in here. This is probably more realistic of what I'm seeing when I'm at the site. There's the Verdant Hills, and there's the sheep rocks in the background. Here we're looking southwest to west here. That's the end of the sheep rocks. Lookout Pass is right there, which when I go out to Erickson Pass, we go up over Lookout Pass. And then these are the beginning of, what are they called? I can't remember, but anyway, it's another mountain range out there in the West Desert. And finally, just more looking out to almost looking due west here. This is looking due west with the sun setting here. Sun went down right about there. Sorry, it's late. I'm a little tired tonight. Anyway, I call this magic time when we get to this point. I've set up the scope. It's collimated. I've done the cat's eye tools. I've been able to do the Howey glader by this time. Confirmed and just got precise collimation on my scopes. And I've aligned the finder with the Toon Rd and the eyepiece, and so everything's ready to go. I can sit down and relax. I usually observe I review my observing plan for that night and make any adjustments that I'm going to make. Am I going to go after Able planetaries? Am I going to go after Higsons? Am I going to stick with the Herschel 400 sketching project that I'm doing? Am I going to go after something else? Specialty project, perhaps. It just depends on the location and the conditions. Always make adjustments, it seems, and always seems to work out. I think I've done it long enough to know what I can go after that night. So anyway, you can read about all that here if you want. First object I went to, and just so you know, everything here was 17.5-inch f4.4 Dob, eyepieces 20 millimeter XWA, 13 XWA, 9 XWA, 7 XWA, once the 4.8. Also, I compared and contrasted them with my favorite eyepieces, the 10 millimeter, 7 millimeter, 5 millimeter, and in one case, the 3.5 millimeter Pentax XWs. Had the paracord 2 in, so made the adjustments when I needed to. Location was top view on Toon Rd, West Desert, Utah. SQM readings went from about 2148 at the beginning to about 2155. Actually got a 2158 at the end. Weather was warm, and as soon as the sun goes down in the West Desert, you can feel it get cold and the temperature starts to drop. You're still going to put layers on. You're going to have not as many as in the winter, but you're still going to layer up even in the summer. It gets cold out there. This night it got down into about 44, 45 by the time we left in the early morning. So I need to work on my globular sketches in the field. Still my weak point here. You can see 6426 in Ophiuchus. July 23rd, Antonati 2. Scene was good. Transparency, very good. Stayed that way the whole night, so I'm not going to keep going through that when I go here. Used the 20 millimeters, the finder, the 9 millimeter XWA, and the 4.8 XWA to sketch. And like I always do, I find a little boo-boo, so I'll correct it as we go along. The observation, this globular is a faint fuzzy with brightening near the core. Some stars show in the globular when I used high magnification. Edges were poorly defined. Again, not my best sketch. Here's some quick information on it. The next one was 6633, a beautiful open cluster that I don't know how messy I missed this one in Ophiuchus. 11:48 p.m., Antonati 2, same conditions as before. Used the 20 millimeter XWA as the finder, 13 millimeter XWA. I did peek with the 9 millimeter just to see what the higher magnification would give. Really sketched it at 13. It was a bright open cluster. It's widely dispersed and spread out with a variety of magnitudes evident. Its open cluster is very loose and really fun to observe. It has several wedges of stars. It appears to be like a funnel coming down. Give you some information on this. It's about 2/3 the size of the full moon. And with the 9 millimeter XWA, it was like flying through a corridor of diamonds. I will say that. The higher magnification just really made them sparkle. They have an electrical pinpoint quality that only high quality optics and dark skies can really bring out. Okay, dark skies are always where you want to be if you can. This is Messier 107 NGC 6171. It's known as the crucifix cluster just because there's like a little crucifix in there if you look. Uh, July 23rd, 1045, Antonati 2, conditions are the same. 20 millimeter XWA is the finder, 9 millimeter XWA alternating with the 10 millimeter Pentax XW, and then a 6 millimeter University HD orthoscopic eyepiece, which I did want to point out on this early do. I usually always throw that eyepiece in on high magnification deep sky objects just to see what it brings out. Usually brings out just a little more detail. Bright diffuse globular that's rather loose and has several chains of stars evident. And in my 17.5 inch, it doesn't show a bright core, and the crucifix is easily seen as the overlay the globular. In the 6 millimeter University ortho, I get the feeling, and I do want to put the HD in there because I just think that's important. I feel I get some subtle warmth and contrast to some of the stars and coolness to some of the stars. I can see some dark patches and included them in the sketch. You can kind of see there's some dark patching and modeling going on up there. Core is granulated and open at higher powers. Notice it does not have a bright inner core. It does have the fuzziness is stars wanting to pop out. It was one of the first globular clusters to have its magnetic field studied. Kind of just a little fact there. It turns out these ancient star cities have complex magnetic structures that help dictate how the stars move within the globular itself. You can see the information there. Its distance is 20,900 light years, so pretty far out there. Age is about 13.7 billion years old. It's nearly as old as the universe. Then I went over to Vulpecca. I went to M27. I've wanted to redo this one. Had a great vision of that a couple of years ago at Wolf Creek. This image is very close to that. It's in used the 20 as the finder, and then I used the 10 and 7 millimeter Pentax on this with no filter, then the O3, and then the UHC filters by Thousand Oaks. Sky, but this time was magnificent up top. Had a wonderful view of the dumbbell. The football shape was very evident and could be discerned with averted vision at this site, and the planetary itself stood out very well. Central star, a white dwarf, which is located, if my pointer is working right there, was easily seen with no filter. Filter just enhanced the view. There were lobes on each end that were uneven and not uniform in their brightness, and granularity in the southern lobe over there. I really felt like I could see. I always pick up little errors when I do this because I always do typos. Dissecting. I really felt like I could really dissect this globular that night. Here's some information on it about just it's going to follow this. Our sun will follow a similar pattern in it. It's about 1,360 light years away. It's nearly 3 light years across, so it's pretty big now. This is Hickson 74, NGC 5910, the main galaxy here. It's an elliptical, NGC 5910 right there, and it's also called 5910b or HCG 74b, and then HCG 74c. This is on the constellation of Serpens, is right there. There's a couple other ones really faint. You have to really look at to get. Kind of had them there, and they kind of popped in and out as I was looking. It's part of Hickson 74 200X. The galaxies appeared as a smudge of faintness with both direct and averted vision. They were resolved. Not there. They were resolved. 5910 has an even surface brightness. It appears to have a globe connecting it to 74b right there. Even though they do appear in this scope in the 17.5 as separate things at high magnification. 74C, I could resolve it with averted vision. D was observed with averted vision, and it popped out in and out of view like a ghostly needle with just a thin streak. Great challenge object to go after in the summer. You could almost see 2 distinct cores there, kind of a smoking gun that there's been a recent merger. We're literally watching a smaller galaxy being digested by the larger elliptical, I believe it's a lenticular galaxy. The member galaxies are so close they appear to be embedded in a faint shroud of stars and gas. Be a wonderful one to go after next summer and image if you're out there. You can see the details there. Next one, 6905, the blue flash, Planetary Nebula in Delphinus. This is after 12:40 a.m. You can see the conditions there. 7mm pentax, 5mm pentax, 4.8 XWA, and 7mm XWA. Used both an O3 filter and a UHC filter for the sketching and observing. It's a beautiful planetary in Delphinus. In both 7mm, it shows elongation, and the central star is easily seen in this. A little bit of elongation on both ends, can appear to have like a box-like structure, and you're going to want to look at the sketch both with averted and with direct vision to get the full shape of what I captured there. In the 5mm pentax and the 4.8mm XWA, central region appears mottled with brighter areas, which I've kind of gotten in there. The view was very three-dimensional as I observed it. It's just wonderful. I love observing planetary nebula. The O3 really pops the planetary, but I think the UHC filter is the best to use on this. It's going to bring out a little bit of the H-beta. It's going to shrink it a little bit, but it's going to bring out more structure, more modeling, more of the H-beta part of the nebula itself. Going down, moving to NGC 5990, an intermediate galaxy in Serpens, rather small face-on spiral, round in shape with a rather bright core. Stellar nucleus is there, is also evident with a brighter inner core region around it. The outer halo is diffused and there's possible structure there. Kind of hinted at it with some modeling and some brighter areas in there. Tended to be just little knots. That's what I'm trying to capture there in the sketch, and some dark patches. Fun object to tease the details out. Disk stretches out a little bit north to south. I think I captured that pretty well. Anyway, there's the information on it. We're going to pop down NGC 5992, a barred spiral galaxy, and 5993, another barred spiral in Bootes. This was earlier in the evening. Scene was good. Transparency very good. 2152 at that time. Both 7mm eyepieces used to sketch. 20mm to find. 5992 is the smaller over here to the right. It's fainter due to it's larger. It's smaller, so it has a brighter surface brightness. Because of its size, it has a very bright inner core. Should have made it a little bit brighter in the sketch. 5993 is larger, more, and because of its size, has a less surface brightness. It's a faint oval, and the nucleus or central region isn't as bright as this one is, as its neighbor 5992. It's still bright though. Modeling is evident in that galaxy, and I think I captured that. Both galaxies have signs of being excited. 5993 is often noted for having an H2 nucleus, means the center is packed with massive nebula. Think Orion Nebula, if not bigger, where new stars are being born at a very furious rate, and that's because of the tidal interaction with 5992. The gases are being pushed to the center, so you're getting a lot of starburst and new star formation going on. It's in Bootes. You can see the rest of it listed right there. Next one, awesome galaxy to observe. Next summer, make sure you put this on your list if you haven't seen it, or image it. 6070 is a spiral galaxy in Serpens. I used the 7mm Pentax XW and XWA as observing and sketching eyepieces. And maybe at the end I'll talk about that a little bit. I've seen the galaxy called both dim and bright. I'd say it's both. At 300x, it appears dim in the outer halo. I could observe granularity and dark lanes, which I think I've captured in there. They're very evident as you move into the central region. It's going to grow brighter, and I should have extended it just a little bit more there. But that dark region was just right there. Anyway, I didn't have a fine enough brush at that time to do it. It has a stellar nucleus, which I put in, and it's probably more bright the core region is than I got. Also the pastel when you're out there late at night getting it under dark sky conditions, sometimes it just doesn't get, maybe I should have touched it up a little bit. Anyway, I didn't. has an uneven surface brightness in its outer edges, and there's modeling of dark lanes and hint of structure to my eyes, and I think I kind of got that in there. It's large in size and a terrific object of view. Some facts: it's a grand design, has a grand design illusion. It's a grand design galaxy. From our perspective, it's tilted at about 60 degrees. So the angle is a sweet spot for visual observers and for imagers. It's tilted enough to see the three-dimensional depth of the field of the disk, but face on enough still to capture that spiral structure. It still remains obvious structure. It is a supernova hunter's favorite because of all the star formation going on and the high star formation rates. There's a lot of supernovas going on there. Really bright one, SN 2002 HJ, was really good. So it's always worth, if you're in the neighborhood, checking it out in the summer for any new stars in the arms. It's in the Bootes Serpens border. It's a very lonely part of the sky. It's kind of like out where I was observing in the West Desert. Finding such a bright structure is out there in that region is kind of like finding an oasis in the desert. It's kind of like going out to Skull Valley and seeing Horseshoe Springs out there. It's finding such a bright, I put this structured galaxy in the region, it's like finding that desert oasis out there. It provides a massive contrast to some of the faint objects I've hunted tonight. Last one, 7331, unbarred spiral in Pegasus. Pegasus was coming up at that point, was up high enough to take a good look at 2 a.m. It was very good. Used 7mm Pentax and the XWA, 4.8mm XWA, and I didn't put it down, but 3.5 Pentax. I was going after the supernova at the core right there. It provided the 7mm provided the perfect balance of magnification and field of view here. It was wider in the 7mm XWA, which you can see. It sat very close to the core. It's about 13 degrees away from the core. In the 7mm supernova was just a steady bluish white pinpoint of shining light, easy to pick up through the hazy glow of the interior of the core region, and spiral arms were easily seen in the sketch. Dark lane was evident, got that put in there on the western edge. In the 5mm and the 4.8mm XWA, the sky background became really black velvet. I found the magnification could easily split the supernova and from the galactic core. At all magnifications, the outer halo had a subtle structure and modeling hinting of the arms and spiral structure. 2025 RBS, which is the supernova that was there, was a type 1A supernova. It was found on July 14th, 2025. Became very bright, 11.8 magnitude. I think it got down a little bit less than that, 11.4. But like any type A, it's going to go bright really quick and then fade off really quick. It was one of the brightest supernovas ever seen in 7331 in decades. That's it. We packed up after that. Shane and I headed home to get some sleep so we could head out to Cedar Mountain Wilderness. That will be the next post I do on sharing my observing traits here. These are the images I took from the sea star that night. You'll see they reflect, and I haven't processed them. Probably should, so I get a better image. If I do it, I'll come back and add those. Anyway, you can see through 65, 6356, 6633, that beautiful open cluster. I think my sketch really kind of captured it quite well. 6426, small globular, M107 popping out right there. Can't see, I can kind of see the crucifix there. I saw it better in the sketch with visual observing. This was 6342. Here's 7331. Zoomed in. There's the supernova right there that went off RBS to 2025 to RBS. That's a wide view. You can still see the supernova just a little bit right next to the core there. And then Eastern Veil Nebula here. Anyway, I hope you have clear skies. If you do, I hope you take the time to look up. Hope you enjoy these reports. Catch you next time. Keep looking up and enjoying the night sky.